Indonesia, alma mater tercinta, junjungan kita.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's sessions with me, Miss Annie. And in this video, we are going to explore a key concept in digital communications, the types of computer-mediated communications or CMC. In the world of digital learning and global interactions, understanding CMC is not only essential for communication studies, but also for teaching, research, and intercultural collaboration. By the end of this session, you should be able to define CMC and explain its importance in digital era, identify various types of CMC based on modality like text, audio, and video, analyze the strengths and weaknesses of each type, and reflect on how these types can be applied in language learning context. Let's begin with a basic definition. Computer-mediated communications refers to any kind of human interactions that takes place through digital devices or platforms, such as emails, chat rooms, discussion boards, or video conferencing tools. CMC can be formal or informal, written or spoken, synchronous or asynchronous. As technology evolves, so does the way we interact through it, blending text, audio, and visual elements more than even before. From simple emails exchanged in 90s to real-time video meetings on Zoom today, CMC has grown tremendously. We've seen transitions from text-only environments to immersive platforms like virtual reality spaces, social media, and AI-driven communications. These evolutions affect not just how we communicate, but also how we learn, teach, and build relationships, especially in multilingual and multicultural environments. Let's now look at the evolutions of computer-mediated communications. In the early days of the internet, communications was mostly text-based and asynchronous. Think of emails or online bulletin boards in the 1990s. At that time, messages were often delayed and the interactions was limited to basic exchange of text. Then come the rise of instant messaging platforms like Yahoo Messengers, MSN Messengers, and early chat rooms, which introduced more synchronous real-time communications. These allow users to type and respond instantly, adding a new level of immediacy. As internet speed and bandwidth improve, we begin to see emergence of audio and video communication tools like Skype, Google Hangouts, and eventually platforms such as Zoom and Microsoft Teams. These tools not only allowed real-time interactions, but also integrated visual and auditory cues, making digital communication much closer to face-to-face conversation. In recent years, CMC has become even more dynamic with the use of mobile apps, social media platforms, and AI-powered chatbots. Platforms like WhatsApp, Telegrams, and even TikTok allows users to blend text, voice, video, emojis, and filters into a single communication experience. Today, we are entering an era of multimodal communications, where users can combine various forms, text, audio, video, image simultaneously. These evolutions not only enhance how we interact, but also changes how we teach, learn, and connect across the borders. CMC is no longer just a substitute to face-to-face interactions. It is a communication culture of its own, shaping digital identities and communities globally. There are two major ways to classify CMC. First, based on time, like synchronous CMC, which happens in real time, or asynchronous CMC, which involves a delay between messages. And the second, based on modality, the text-based, audio-based, and video-based. Each of these categories plays a unique role in how we communicate digitally. In the previous video, we have learned about synchronous and asynchronous CMC. Now, we come to the types of CMC by modality. Number 1, the text-based CMC. It is perhaps the most common form. It includes emails, chats, blogs, forums, and social media platforms. This type is easy to archive and reread, supports formal and informal tone, and is essential in academic and professional communication. In language learning, it helps students develop writing skills and understand register and tones. The text-based CMC involves communications that is primarily written, taking place through platforms such as emails, chat applications, online forums, blogs, the comment sections, a text messaging, and even collaborative writing tools like Google Docs. What makes text-based CMC so powerful is its accessibility and permanence. Messages can be saved, edited, forwarded, and reread, which is ideal for professional, academic, and instructional contexts. For instance, in an academic setting, email is often used for formal communication between lecturers and the students. It allows for careful wording, detailed instructions, and even attachment of files and references. Meanwhile, in more informal environments, such as in WhatsApp groups, chat messages offer quick and short exchange that support real-time collaborations, even though they remain text-based. One key feature of text-based CMC is its ability to support multilingual or second language learners, allowing them to take time to compose, revise, and improve their language output. This helps developing writing fluency and reinforces vocabulary and grammar in context. However, text-based CMC does have limitations. Without voice or facial expressions, messages can be misinterpreted, especially when sarcasm, humor, or emotion is involved. That's why emoticons, emojis, and even punctuations have evolved as tools to convey tone and intention in text communication. In short, the text-based CMC is versatile, flexible, and ideal for structured and reflective communications, making it a valuable component in both educational and professional settings. Types number 2 is audio-based CMC. The audio-based communication such as voice calls, podcasts, or voice messages adds intonations and emotional depth to the message. It can make interactions more human and expressive, especially in second language learning where tone and punctuation matters. However, it requires good audio quality and may not be suitable in noisy environments or for users with hearing impairments. Audio-based computer-mediated communications is a form of communications that relies on voice instead of text. This type of CMC adds reach of paralinguistic dimensions like tone, pitch, rhythm, and emotions, which can help reduce misunderstanding that often occurs in text-based message. There are some popular tools for audio-based CMC. It includes the voice notes in messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Messenger, voice calls over the internet, like also known as VoIP, using platforms like Skype, Zoom, or Microsoft Teams, and a podcast or audio lectures, which are pre-recorded and shared through platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, or institutional LMS, or Twitter Spaces, where people engage in a real-time voice-only conversation with a wide audience. In educational context, audio-based CMC is incredibly useful. For example, language instructors often send feedbacks or explanations through voice notes, allowing students to hear correct punctuations, pronunciations, intonations, and natural language flows. Let's say a student writes a paragraph in English, and the teacher gives a voice-based response to highlight grammar points or suggest better word choices. So, this allows for a more personal and human connection, especially in distance learning settings. However, audio-based CMC does present some challenges. Unlike text, it's not always searchable or easy to skim. Also, in a noisy environment or where there are bandwidth issues, audio communications can be difficult or even impossible. In summary, audio-based CMC bridges the emotional gap left by text and makes digital communications more natural and expressive. It is an effective tool not only for social interactions, but also for teaching, learning, and mentoring, especially in remote education. Now, let's talk about the last type of CMC. It's video-based CMC. This includes live video conferencing, video recordings, and platforms like YouTube. It combines visual and auditory modes, allowing facial expressions, gestures, and tone to enhance meaning. The video-based communications is highly effective in language classroom for presentations, feedback, storytelling, and real-time dialogue. The video-based CMC involves the use of visual and auditory channels simultaneously, allowing participants to see and hear each other in a real-time or asynchronously. This type of communications closely simulate face-to-face interactions, making it spatial, especially powerful in both personal and professional contexts. There are some common tools, include Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet for real-time video conferencing, and also YouTube and TikTok for asynchronous video sharing. And we have also Flip, formerly Flipgrid, for educational video responses, and Instagram Reels, Facebook Live, or Twitch for interacting and live streaming. In education, Video-based CMC has transformed the way we teach and learn. For example, a teacher can record a lecture video and upload it to Google Classroom or Moodle, allowing students to learn at their own pace. In language learning, students can submit their video assignments where they narrative a story, present an argument, or role-play a dialogue. And this helps develop their speaking fluency, pronunciations, and of course, their confidence. In group projects, students use Zoom to conduct discussions or presentations, which can be recorded and reviewed later for feedback. Imagine a literature class where students are discussing Shakespeare. In Zoom sessions, they not only talk, but use facial expressions, hand gestures, and voice inflection to perform a scene. This is much more engaging than a text-only discussion forums. So there are some benefits that we can have in video-based CMC. Number one, it enhances social presence. You can see facial expressions and body language. And number two, it supports multimodal learning. It gives you visual, auditory, and sometimes kinesthetic. And number three, it increases students' engagement, especially in remote or hybrid classroom. However, video-based CMC also comes with challenges. It requires strong internet connections and hardware. It also can lead to video fatigue if used excessively. And last, the privacy concerns may arise when videos are recorded or shared publicly. To summarize, video-based CMC is a rich interactive form of communications that brings people together visually and vocally. It plays a crucial role in online educations, corporate communications, digital performance, and even community building. Used effectively, it can enhance not just understanding but also human connections. Now let's compare all those types side by side. The synchronous CMC. It is immediate interactions but needs scheduling. While asynchronous CMC, it's flexible but can delay feedback. However, text-based CMC easy to archive and revise but lacks of tone. While audio-based, it is expressive but less accessible. On the other hand, the video-based, it's rich and engaging but resource-heavy. So, choosing the right types depends on your communication goals and technological constraints. Now, let's wrap up our sessions on types of computer-mediated communications. Throughout these presentations, we have explored the various forms of CMC that can take each with its own features, strengths, and challenges. To summarize, the text-based CMC includes emails, chats, discussion boards, and blogs. It is ideal for thoughtful, permanent, and asynchronous communications. It supports writing developments and allows for language reflections. The second types, the audio-based CMC, such as voice notes, podcasts, or live voice chats, adds tone and emotional to message, helping to build rapport and enhance comprehension. And the last one, the video-based CMC, through tools like Zoom or YouTube, offers the richest form of interactions, mimicking face-to-face communications, and supporting multimodal learning. We also briefly mentioned multimodal CMC, which blends text, audio, video, and visual symbols into a single experience. This is what most of us used today on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So, what does it mean? As communications continues to shift into digital spaces, it's important to understand the affordance and limitations of each CMC types. The goal isn't to choose one over the others, but to be strategic in selecting the right types of CMC for the right purpose. Each type of CMC brings unique communicative possibilities as educators, professionals, and digital citizens. Our task is to use them critically and ethically, ensuring that communications remains effective, inclusive, and human-centered. Thank you for joining me in today's lecture. I hope this overview helps you better understand how communicating technology shapes our interactions and opens your eyes to possibilities of teaching, learning, and connecting through digital media. See you in the next session.
Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, alma mater tercinta, junjungan kita.